Political organization can be found in many different ways around the world. Geopolitics is the study of political organization of the planet, a constantly changing collage of countries that once were kingdoms, part of empires or tribes. Though all that changed, one thing always stays true. Almost from the beginning of history, humans have divided their living space into political units or territories. Geopolitical theories have sought to demonstrate the importance in the determination of foreign policies of considerations such as acquisitions of natural boundaries, access to important sea routes, and the control of strategically placed important land areas. Democracy is the existence of competitive elections that are regular, free, and fair. Democratization happens because of the loss of legitimacy by both right and left-wing authoritarian regimes. It is the expansion of an urban middle class in developing countries. There are some gray areas within the word democracies. The idea offers that it is possible for the government in control that it can be taken over, but is not the case for liberal democracies. They use civil liberties, rule of the law that provides equal treatment of citizens' due process, neutrality within the government branch's power, open civil society that allows citizens to live private lives, and mass media to operate independently from the government, and civilian control of the military. The Union, or EU, is a makeup of almost all of the countries in Europe that are deeply affected by the trend towards integration, a process that encourages states to pool their sovereignty in order to gain political, economic, and social equality. The European Union is the combination of countries in Europe that have all joined together to form a group with common trade, money, government, and environment. They have a treaty that establishes the three pillars of authority. 1. Trade and other economic matters, including economic and monetary union, into a single currency and the creation of the European Central Bank. 2. Justice and home affairs, including policy governing asylum, border crossing, immigration, and judicial cooperation on crime and terrorism. 3. Common foreign and security policy, including joint positions and actions in common defense policy. The European Union consists of 27 countries and are in order from when they joined: Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Denmark, England, Ireland, Greece, Portugal, Spain, Austria, Finland, Sweden, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Malta, Poland, Slovakia, Slovenia, Bulgaria, and finally Romania. The United Nations, or the UN, is a peacekeeping group with members from around the world. It has lasted more than 65 years, and its membership makes it truly a global organization. Membership in the United Nations is voluntary, but it has some limited powers to force its members to abide by the organization's peacekeeping principles. The organization plays a very important part in geopolitics. Without it, it would not be the same. An important power of the United Nations is to vote to establish a peacekeeping force in a hotspot around the world and request states to contribute military forces. The United Nations has helped many of the world's crisis situations and are all over the world since October 24, 1945. The United Nations is still in use to this day and is still effective to this day, and currently there are 193 members in the United Nations, and each is a part of the same General Assembly. Globalization is the process by which the experience of everyday life, marked by the diffusion of commodities and ideas, is becoming standardized around the world. Factors that have contributed to globalization include increasingly sophisticated communications and transportation technologies and services, mass migration, and the movement of people, a level of economic activity that has outgrown national markets through industrial combinations and commercial groupings that cross international frontiers and international agreements that reduce the cost of doing business in foreign countries. The world is changing because of globalization. No longer is everyone individual. Culture is being spread very quickly around the world, and we are able to communicate and spread ideas much faster than ever before. Globalization can be a good thing, yet also somewhat troublesome for some countries. Globalization is a state's recreation of market in which property, labor, goods, and services can all function within a competitive environment to determine their value. Many political economists today declare that the economic competition between capitalism and socialism that dominated the 20th century is now part of the past. Because of central political control, the economies promote to move toward democratization. Centripetal forces are forces that pull people together and unite one another with something in common. One of the most powerful centripetal forces is nationalism, or identities based on nationalhood. Emotions encourage people to obey the law and accept the country's overall ideologies, even when a society is highly heterogeneous. Symbols such as flags, rituals, and holidays unite each other. Symbols, though, are one of the most powerful tools for creating unity. A centrifugal force is something that pushes people away from each other and causes conflict throughout everywhere where you are. Things such as civil war, political or economical corruption, natural disasters, ethnic cleansing, and many other things that cause conflict are things such as centrifugal forces. Centrifugal forces completely separate people and unite people from their country and from each other, and are not good for anyone. Balkanization was originally used to describe the process of fragmentation or division of a region or state into smaller states or regions that are often hostile or non-cooperative with one another. The Balkans were united under one new country of Yugoslavia, which fell apart during the 1990s into smaller ethnically based countries. The process of Balkanization. The Balkans was an area between the Adriatic and Black Seas. There is a situation after the Cold War in former Yugoslavia where certain people were ethnically cleansed, and which led to the division of former Yugoslavia and the creation of new culturally diverse countries. Heartland theory was a theory that said the pivot area of the Earth was Eurasia, which holds the resources, both natural and human, to dominate the globe. When the Soviets became the superpower of the world, this theory had lots of support and gained more popularity. The theory challenged the Heartland theory, and it was made by a man named Nicholas Spikum in 1944. Spikum argued that the Eurasian Rim, not its heart, held the key to global power. What is the rimland? It is a large swath of land that encircles the heartland, roughly touching the ocean's seas. It includes China, Korea, Japan, Southeast Asia, India, the Arabian Peninsula, and Europe. This area is unlikely to fall under any one superpower's control, an important key to keeping a global geopolitical balance of power.